Hello, KBUZZPOP family. Welcome back to another emotional and eye-opening story straight from the heart of the Asian entertainment world. Today, we're diving into a moment that left not just fans but also fellow celebrities speechless. Wang, the charismatic star who captured millions of hearts with his roles, just broke down in tears on live television. And what he said, those tearful words, have become the truth that everyone needed to hear. This isn't just about a celebrity crying on screen. It's about a human being revealing his deepest pain, struggles, and love in front of the entire world. Before we begin, I want to ask you, have you ever seen a celebrity's vulnerable moment and felt that maybe, just maybe, they were speaking directly to you? Get ready, because as we go through Dylan's story, I want you to reflect, share your feelings in the comments, and interact as if you were sitting right there in the audience when it happened. Let's journey together. The stage was set on a well-known variety show where Wang had been invited as a special guest. Fans had been eagerly waiting, expecting his usual playful charm, his witty answers, and that signature smile that lights up screens. But that night, the Dylan who appeared was different. His eyes looked tired, his voice carried a heaviness, and although he greeted the audience warmly, you could sense something deeper brewing inside him. When the host asked him about his journey, his sudden rise to fame after Meteor Garden, the immense pressure of being one of China's most beloved young actors, and how he deals with the weight of expectations, Dylan tried to brush it off at first. He smiled, cracked a small joke, and said he was grateful for all the support. But as the conversation continued, the walls he had built around his emotions began to crack. Viewers could see it, the way he clenched his hands, the way his voice shook when he talked about loneliness, and the way he paused as if searching for the strength to continue. And then it happened. His eyes filled with tears, his voice broke, and Dylan said words that no one expected. Sometimes, I feel like I can't breathe, like the person everyone sees on screen is not really me. At that moment, the audience in the studio fell silent. Fans watching from home took to social media instantly, flooding timelines with shock and concern. KBUZZPOP family, imagine sitting there, seeing Wang, someone known for his confidence and charisma, suddenly confessing such a vulnerable truth. How would you have reacted? Would you have cried with him? He went on, his tears flowing freely now, saying that fame had come so suddenly that he barely had time to process it. I was just a boy with dreams, he whispered, and suddenly I was being called a star. But stars are supposed to shine. And what if I don't? What if one day, people look at me and see nothing special? His words pierced through the glamorous facade of stardom and revealed the raw humanity underneath. And that's what fans needed to hear. For years, many had idolized Dylan, putting him on a pedestal, expecting perfection from him. But that night, he reminded everyone that behind the bright lights and fan cheers is a young man who feels the same fears, insecurities, and loneliness that many of us do. The host tried to comfort him, but Dylan continued, explaining that the hardest part of his journey was not the long hours, the strict schedules, or even the constant criticism from the public. It was the silence he faced when he went home after a long day. I have millions of fans, he said, but sometimes I feel like I have no one to talk to. People think I'm always surrounded by friends, but at night, when the cameras are off, it's just me and the silence. At this point, some audience members began crying too. You could hear sniffles in the background as Dylan spoke. Fans on live chat streams wrote messages like, "Dylan, you're not alone," and "We'll always be here for you." It became more than just an interview. It turned into a shared moment of collective emotion. And then came the most powerful part of his confession. Dylan said softly, "I'm grateful to everyone who loves me, but I also want to remind you, please, love yourself too. Don't think that your life is less important than mine. Don't think that I'm stronger than you. I'm not. We're all the same. We're all just trying to live, to love, and to find meaning." KBUZZPOP family, let that sink in. Have you ever felt like you're not enough? Like you're struggling silently while everyone else seems to be moving forward? Dylan's words weren't just about himself. They were a mirror held up to all of us, reminding us that even the brightest stars have their darkest nights. The moment Dylan said those words, fans online described it as a healing confession. Many shared their own struggles in comments, saying things like, "Dylan, thank you for speaking up. I've been feeling the same way," and "Your tears gave me strength to cry and finally release my pain." Others wrote about how they had been bottling up emotions, thinking no one would understand, but seeing their idol cry gave them permission to be human too. But the story doesn't end there. After the broadcast, Dylan's management team released a statement acknowledging his emotional moment. Instead of trying to cover it up, they supported him, saying, "Dylan is a human being with real feelings. We hope fans will continue to support him not just as an actor, but as a person." That statement only deepened the love fans had for him, showing that vulnerability could indeed be strength. And Dylan himself, the very next day, he posted a heartfelt message on his social media. He thanked fans for their love and said, "Last night was difficult for me, but I don't regret it. Sometimes, crying is the bravest thing we can do." He also added, "I promise to keep moving forward, not because I'm fearless, but because I know I'm not alone anymore." Now, let me ask you, dear KBUZZPOP family, how many of you believe that celebrities should show this kind of honesty more often? Do you think Dylan's moment of vulnerability has changed the way people see him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your voices matter in this discussion. As we continue, let's reflect on why this moment hit so hard. In today's world, especially with social media, we often only see the highlight reels of people's lives: smiles, success, luxury, achievements. Rarely do we see the tears, the fears, the sleepless nights. Dylan's tearful words broke that illusion. He showed us the truth, that even someone adored by millions can feel lonely and afraid. And in doing so, he gave permission for everyone watching to feel okay about their own struggles. Fans have since started calling him the star who cries for us, because his breakdown resonated so deeply. Think about it. How often do you see a celebrity openly cry not because of a script or a role, but because of the raw weight of life itself? That's why this moment has been replayed, shared, and talked about across countless platforms. And here's where it gets even more interactive. If you were sitting in that audience, with Dylan right there in front of you, crying and speaking those words, what would you have said to him? Imagine you could hand him a note or whisper something. What message of comfort, love, or encouragement would you give? Share it in the comments, and let's create a wall of love and support for Dylan together. Because at the end of the day, Dylan Wang's tearful words were not just his truth, they became our truth too. They reminded us that no matter how perfect someone looks, no one is immune to pain. They reminded us that it's okay to cry, to feel, and to admit when we're not okay. And most importantly, they reminded us of the power of human connection, the way one person's vulnerability can heal thousands of hearts. So as we close this emotional journey, let's carry Dylan's words with us. Please, love yourself too. Don't think you're less important. Those are words we all need to hear, again and again. Thank you for staying with us through this heartfelt story. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, send your love to Dylan in the comments, and if this video touched your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And of course, subscribe to KBUZZPOP for more emotional, real, and inspiring stories from the world of our beloved stars. Because at KBUZZPOP, we don't just talk about celebrities, we talk about the humanity that connects us all.